Hello, Internet. I'm Andrés Cordero, Dre Cordero at the Twitter.com, your friendly neighborhood Ligue commentator. And we're looking forward to a brand new season in the French top flight. So ahead of the new campaign, we're going to give you 5 players to keep an eye on so that later on you can tell your friends, told you he was going to be good, and then act like you knew all along. I mean, isn't that kind of what most people are doing with Nicolas Pepe anyway? Anyway, because I geek out to this sort of thing, I've decided to actually make this into a 5-a-side team. So we'll get 1 goalkeeper, 1 center back, 1 fullback, 1 midfielder, 1 striker. Oh, and only 1 player max per team, so it's not just 5 guys from PSG. And with all of that said, the first name on the team sheet is the goalkeeper, Alban Lafont. Still just 20 years old and already a 4-year starter in 2 of the top 5 leagues, Lafont is back in Ligue after a difficult season in Serie A with Fiorentina, where Fiore flirted with relegation but finished just above the drop. And the Viola were the youngest side in Italy, which was less than ideal of a scenario for the French under-20 international. But now back in France with over 130 top-flight appearances under his belt, Lafont should help a Nantes side that were about middle of the pack when it came to defense. It should be better. Speaking of defense, our center back, Joachim Andersen, another Serie A import. The 23-year-old Dane moved from Sampdoria to Lyon for a reported $27 million this summer, and that makes him the most expensive signing in OL's history and the most expensive Dane of all time. And by all indications, he seems to be worth it. Andersen had some huge shoes to fill at Samp after the departure of Milan Skriniar, and he was up for it. He's also a terrific passer, which should suit Lyon's style just fine. Our other defender is the Algerian right back, Youssef Attal. And we're going to use defender lightly because Attal was a right back, a right mid, and a right wing forward for Nice. And unlike Lafont and Andersen, he actually didn't change clubs this summer, but he did make headlines with some impressive performances for the African champions Algeria. He's 23 years old, arguably was the tournament's best right back right up until he fractured his collarbone against Ivory Coast in the quarterfinals, missed the rest of the tournament. Last season was his first in Ligue 1, and he was a standout. So we'll be eager to see what Attal does for an encore. Now, we purposely avoided loading this list up with PSG players, and they've made some great additions with Ander Herrera and Idrissa Gueye, but the one I'm most curious to see is the Spanish midfielder Pablo Sarabia. Well in his prime now at age 27, Sarabia was one of La Liga's best players last season. A career-high 23 goals in all competitions, a league-high 13 assists, which actually had him tied with Messi. Sarabia is now far from the sexiest signing that Paris have made in recent seasons, but he is one of the most interesting because he plays a variety of roles, played in 7 different positions last season, and we know how much Thomas Tuchel loves those multi-positional players. And finally, our center forward. Away from the bright lights of Paris and Lyon and Marseille, one of the league's best stories last season was the breakout campaign for Montpellier's Andy Delort. Now 27 years old, the former beach footballer has already played for 9 different clubs, including randomly Tigres in the Liga MX. But last season was a career high for Delort. He scored 14 goals to lead Montpellier to a top 6 finish, their best since they won the league in 2012. Now the French-born Algerian international goes into the new campaign as an AFCON champion. That confidence should make for a strong second season with Montpellier.